Hi everyone, welcome to Watkins Bookshop. It's really lovely to see so many people here, so thank you very much for coming out. My name is Kelly and I'm a commissioning editor at Watkins Publishing, the publishing arm of this lovely bookshop. And I have worked with the lovely Chrissy now for many years actually. Chrissy has now written 5 books, and today is the launch of her 5th, which is 7 Steps into lLight. Obligatory display. Chrissy has been a spiritual educator for over 15 years, inspiring people up and down the UK and beyond. And she really walks her talk, a warm, authentic person. And as I'm sure you all know, her specialty within spiritual education is angels. And she will talk to you about that and her new book tonight, and I hope you all enjoy it very much. So Chrissy, we welcome you, we thank you for all your work, and enjoy. Thank you.
Let me make sure I'm standing in the right place.
You're going to be on, no, is it YouTube or whatever it is?
Don't know. Tell me when I can start. Can I start now? Okay. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for making this really, really special for me. I am so thrilled that they asked me to write this book, because this is the one that's based on the 7 steps, the 7 process that I've actually been teaching now for 6 or 7 years in my courses. And this was an opportunity to make it into a book so that people can carry it around, they can do the practices, they can learn the exercises, and they can bring the angels into their spiritual life. Some of you may not know, but I also belong to a group called the Essenes, the New Essenes, and the Essenes believe that angels are actually part of our existence. They are scientific, they are energetic, they are in everything. And so when I was given the opportunity to write this lovely book, I decided that I needed to be able to express the fact that we really need to get over this idea, this ancient idea that angels are people with wings, because they're not. Angels are pure light. They are pure energy, as we are. We are energetic beings, as you know. You walk into a room where people are laughing and smiling and they're happy, and you feel the energy. It radiates out from them. You walk into a room where somebody's really upset or sad or ill, and you feel that energy too. When you walked in here tonight, there was a buzz. It's like an electricity. It's the light. It's the light that we all share with one another. And it's by tapping into the light of these massive, gigantic beings that aren't really beings at all. They are aspects of the divine. And I like to express them as, imagine the whole world, the earth, was surrounded by an immense rainbow, which it probably is. It's probably just that we can't see it. The colours of the rainbow blend into one another. When we look at a rainbow ourselves, we're filled with hope, we're filled with energy. And that rainbow we see as 7 colours. But actually there are millions of colours, because the spectrum blends from shade to shade. So we might like to say, oh, it's red and yellow and green and blue, but actually there are millions of different colours. And this is how the angelic realms are. They are vast expanses of God thought, of energy, of light, brilliant, brilliant, pure light. And so what we're doing when we say we are connecting to angels, or we're praying, or we're feeling that essence, we're feeling a message coming through us that taps into what we know and reminds us how to relate it, how to speak it. And so we say we're getting a message from the angels, which we are, but we're tapping into the light. Our light is blending, just as the colours of the rainbow blend between one another. But we can't just do that any old how. We have to develop a spiritual practice, call it prayer, call it meditation, call it going into the silence, call it staring at the stars, call it going out for a walk with the dog and loving the beach or the trees and connecting to the earth. These are spiritual practices. And then we tap into that love, that element that all of us are seeking, that really pure divine love. And when we tap into that love, our heart opens. And we can tap into the love by seeing a beautiful view somewhere, or holding a newborn baby, or for some people stroking a pet, or having a walk in a garden full of beautiful roses and flowers and fruits. And we suddenly step into something which we call awe, or we call magic, or we call the mystery. And when we do that, our heart opens. And also something up here opens that many of you know about already. The third eye opens and the crown opens. This energy center on the top of the head, it opens wide. And this is where our light emanates. And our light blends with the light of God. Call God whatever you like. I like now to call him God. And I'm in my 60s and I now feel very confident in saying that's what I'm going to call this energy that none of us actually can see, except we know it's there if we believe in it and we're filled with hope. And I used to say source or universe and get a little bit embarrassed. And now I think, actually, what the heck? I'm gonna be me, and if I want to call this universal energy God, I will, and I'm not going to be embarrassed about it anymore. But let me just describe a little. I was just saying to some of my friends, I've been talking to people now for 20 years, and I've never read from anything. I've never read from a script, much to Richard's dismay. Sometimes, you know, I'm encouraged to be a little more structured, and I'm given this lovely script, and I know I can't use it because it has to just come from my heart. It has to come from where I want to speak from. But today I have permission to read, and it's my permission to me. I can read a little bit from my book. So I want to try and describe to you the excitement that I felt when where is she? Sandra, my lovely editor, said to me, well, all this is very nice, Chrissy. This is really good. This introduction is very nice, but you're saying it's scientifically proven, so I really do need some proof. So I researched, and I wanted to find something specific, and I couldn't really. I was obviously Googling in the wrong places, so I left it. And then, as is my wont, and as some of you will, or I said, okay, show me what you want me to say. And then later in the day, I went back to my computer and I thought, oh, I better not start writing anything else because I haven't proved that bit about the violet light yet. And so I Googled violet light, cellular change proof, and up came this website. And because I'm not that bothered about using computers very often, and I only do it to write what I want or send an email usually, I didn't really look at what the website was, but I was so excited because in this site it was telling me that it's the light in the cells, called the photons, which expands and excites and moves between cell to cell. It's the violet light. And when the violet light within the cells, within the photons, exchanges energy or light, the vibration of the cell rises, it elevates, it lifts. But when that doesn't happen for whatever reason, the energy, the vibration becomes heavy. And then the light fades, and then it doesn't work anymore. And in my reasoning, I immediately related that to what happens to us. When I was a little girl at school, in my first year at grammar school, I was puzzled by this topic called physics that I didn't like very much, until one day we were told we were going to learn about heat. We were going to learn about heat exchange, and we were all asked to stand up, and we were all asked to jump. And it made a whole class full of 32 girls giggle. And as we giggled, and we giggled even more, we bounced even higher, and then we started falling into one another, and we started bumping into one another, and that made us laugh even more. And then the whole class was bumping into one another and laughing, and we all got terribly hot and happy. And he said, "Sit down." That was heat exchange. And I thought, the light is the same. Spiritual light is the same. As we shine our light, and others see it. They receive it. And we know that. We know that because of mood between us. We know that. We call it atmosphere. But what we didn't perhaps realize, it is our auric light. It is our real light that people are feeling. It's our energetic, real light that not many of us can see. There are very few people who can see that light around people without training. But it exchanges anyway, which is why when you bump into people and you like them, you have this lovely exchange of energy. So going back to the angels, going back to the archangels, these immense, powerful energy centers in our universe, imagine that sense when your light is exchanging with that volume of light, that power of light. And once that's happened, can you ever imagine not being able to exchange that energy and make it a force within your own life? It happens, and people describe it, and it's immense and amazing. And it has the effect of sometimes being a colour, sometimes being a sensation on the skin, sometimes being a sense of knowing, a deep sense of knowing something very mystical or magical. Sometimes we become miraculously healed because we're tapping into, we're connecting, we're communing with, we're exchanging light with the archangels. Right. Let me just read you this bit, because I'm determined to read from a book at some point in my career. Apart from, of course, reading from the Essene Communions when we're doing our... Okay, so, whilst the masters of ancient wisdom and our great spiritual leaders have acknowledged this transference of light in the form of prayer and angelic communication for thousands of years, scientists are only now starting to catch on, using quantum physics to validate such mystical teachings. Studies, especially in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, have shown how quantum particles of light are stored and released by our DNA on a daily basis. This cellular light can be measured with specialist camera, and so illustrates the dynamic interplay of this web of light exchange surrounding everything. Violet light emitting from the cells indicates a higher vibration, but the vibration decreases as light particles are lost. Interestingly, if no light is emitted, in other words, light is held back for some reason, the same camera equipment shows that the process of reabsorption creates heat in the cell, which lowers the energetic vibration. In spiritual terms, we see this phenomenon playing out in our lives too. When we suppress our light or our true self, it disrupts us at a cellular level and lowers our energy vibration. This inevitably impacts on how we feel, our health, and our overall well-being. I think most of us have experienced these lower energy vibrations. We feel sluggish and not our vibrant selves. We also know we can transmit how we feel to others when we cheer someone up with a smile. So even though our light cannot usually be measured or seen by the naked eye, we know it exists. All the evidence points to the fundamental nature of this exchange of light energy to all of life's processes. And if you think about it, even the concept of prayer as a light form is not as impossible as it might seem. Our universe is made up entirely of particles containing that same light. We human beings are as intrinsic to the universe as the mountains and the stars, and literally exchange information with it via light emitted and received through our cells. This means that our thoughts, words, gestures, and emotions emanate from our bodies just as light energy. So I got my chance to read from my book. I think that's about the only scientific bit. But the book is called 7 Steps into Angel Light. It's about taking 7 dramatic, serious steps on your personal journey, on your spiritual journey. And it starts with Gabriel, whom I believe is the one that awakens us and shows us the right direction. This is this incredible, powerful light that appears at the beginning of every new age. And so let's relate that into our own lives. The beginning of something new. Let's start something new, call in this amazing energy, work with it, learn about it. You'll need to buy this actually if you want to do that. Work with that energy. This is the beginning. This is the new energy. This is the white light of the new birth. It's like the new moon rising or the full moon rising. It's incredibly bright, beautiful energy. And that takes us to the second path of all those wonderful, enlightening moments, those aha moments, those light bulb moments. That's with the angel Jophiel. And then the third step is actually where the archangel that nearly everyone's heard of, Michael, steps in and says, wait a minute, you can't just go on floating around like this. You have to be grounded. Let's cut away all the baggage that you've been carrying around with you. Let's give you the opportunity to be grounded in a fully fledged spiritual warrior and carry that light, knowing that you can call upon the armor of the divine at any time. And that gives you the opportunity to heal because you've let go of stuff. So Raphael steps in on step 4 and allows you to heal. When you tap into it, when you develop a spiritual practice. And following on from healing, we have love. Camuel, the angel who I believe carries the compassion and the unconditional love that Jesus Christ taught, that Buddha taught, the pure compassion that we can share with one another. All comes along at that stage because we've woken up, we've got rid of stuff, we've healed, and now we can love. And then this amazing violet light arrives, and the violet light transforms everything with the angel Zadkiel. When you want it to, when you ask it to, when you've developed a beautiful practice, an everyday practice that opens your heart and your crown to the divine energies. And finally, Uriel comes along, and for me, that's an energy of immense peace and serenity and spiritual backbone. So it's so strong. There is nothing fluffy, nothing flaky, nothing out there about working with these powerful energies. They are real, and they are in the light. They are in the light, and they are in the light in our own hearts. They are in the heart within us. And within that light, the light that we share with everyone, the light that we shine when we smile, the light that we shine when we care about somebody. This is divine. This is angelic energy. And this is time up. So please follow me over. If you'd like, I'm sure Watkins Bookshop would be delighted if you'd like to buy a book, and I will happily dedicate it to you. And there's a lovely little bookmark in there for you. And if you're really interested in following me somewhere on my journeys, then I've got lots of new retreats coming up, so you might like to pick up a little bit about that. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for
She's brilliant. You know, she's very relatable. She doesn't try and talk above people. She doesn't talk down to people. She's just, you know, one-to-one. And I think that's how the best teachers are, really. So,
what I love about Chrissy for me is she teaches from the heart, and it's given me a lot of faith because I met Chrissy when I was one of the there was a crush in my life, and she's really just helped me get my feet back and kept her price on that.
Very inspiring. I listened to her talk tonight, and that was very much Chrissy speaking from the heart. And she's a very heart person. She really does live more than what she's written in her book.
Yeah.
She's just such a very calm and kind and giving person, and she just emanates what she teaches, but in a non-teaching way with her friend. I don't know, it's a very hard thing to explain.
Yeah.
She lights up a room.
Yeah, well she does, yeah. Chrissy is very vibrant and lovely.
She's inspirational, absolutely inspirational, because I've done a lot of angel courses. I'm actually an angel teacher myself, and Chrissy just never ceases to inspire me.
What she does for me is, she mentioned in her talk today, she talked about getting over this is fluffy, it's not really. What she does is, she speaks from the heart, she really works to make theory, turn the theory into practice. And find ways of working what might seem strange to some people into something she's that bridge between the etheric and the marine.
I think basically every day I do, well there's an angel prayer that she wrote, it was on Facebook once, but I do that every day as part of my spiritual wake up ritual, not exactly as I wake up, have coffee first, but then I will do my angel prayer. I'll do I'll always do an angel card. I'll say what do I need to know today, and then one or two other things as well, all angelic stuff. So yeah.
It's like a distillation of all her work together. A bit like Peter's saying, it's bringing sort of, if you like, the spiritual language of practice down to a very practical level. It's accessible to anybody and doesn't sort of seem vague and sort of odd. It's very down to earth.
yeah.